I guess I could talk about double duty here. Speaking of double duty,
Yeah.
welcome back to Basement Birds, your favorite weekly episodic podcast. That is,
Jeez.
that's a weird way to describe a podcast, dude.
Yeah. Just weekly.
Well, I used
weekly.
to watch wrestling, and they used to say this is the longest running weekly episodic television show in history. But we're not the
Who was
longest
that?
running podcast. That was Monday Night Raw.
Is it really?
Longest running weekly episodic television show.
Did you watch it last night?
I did not, no.
have
I
a
don't
friend
watch very
who-
much anymore. This was like 10 years ago when I was watching that, but
I have a friend that always watches Monday Night Raw and always there's what does did they do something? Oh, Friday Night SmackDown.
yes.
Yeah. Yes. He watches SmackDown. Like if you need him between the hours of what they normally are at 8:00 Monday and Friday.
Seven.
He's watching
7 to 10. But,
Oh well, I guess it's 8:00 my time.
yeah.
But yes, he is watching SmackDown and Raw probably. Or well, now with football starting up, he's also, there's football thrown in there for high school or for college and professional. So he has a very busy watching schedule, I should say.
Yeah. Well, you're right. High school, I forgot that football is starting up. One of our
did
mutual
start up.
friends,
They're already in like week 3 or 4.
well, see how up to date I am on football
Yeah.
topics, but one of our mutual friends, Tony, who was on the show
Oh,
not
yes.
too long ago. He was one of the few guests that we've had on the show, but our good friend Tony is now doing local radio. He's doing the pre and post game show.
Wait, 1 second. Sorry. Can I interrupt this quick with something I just saw? Monday Night Raw is moving to Netflix in January?
Yeah, dude. Did you not see this? This is big news that's been happening.
Is SmackDown also going there?
I don't think so yet. I think they're going to try it with Netflix or with Raw. And I think all
okay.
of the PLE premium live events are going there as well.
SmackDown's
they
on
don't have.
Peacock. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So they're also tomorrow releasing a documentary about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He is the brain child.
Vince McMahon, yeah.
Vince McMahon is the almighty being
Yeah.
that made WWE, used to be WWF, what it is today.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch that because he's also had some controversy in
he sure does.
past
Yes.
about year. He was kind of forced out, and
It says he's currently under a federal probe. That's not good.
well, yeah, he was
We don't have to talk about
yeah, I
crimes
think-
for it, but
right.
they were not
he
good.
did some very not nice things.
Yeah.
So, but I'm curious to see that documentary
Yeah.
tomorrow.
speaking of documentaries, did you see the new one that's on Amazon Prime with the NHL?
Not yet. No, we just watched the Menendez brothers show on Netflix.
Oh, is that new?
That is brand new. It's by the same people who made the Dahmer series. It is excellent. We watched we watched all 9
series
episodes.
Like the recreation of the Dahmer series?
Correct.
Like
yeah.
okay. Not like the retelling documentary, but the one where they cast actors to play the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those, but I think I did watch the Dahmer one. Is that the?
You should watch this one.
I did watch
it's
that.
very
Dahmer one.
well
Okay.
done.
How many episodes is it?
9. It's a 9 episodes
Oh, geez,
short
okay.
series. Nicole and I
All right.
watched it starting on Friday. Finished it on Sunday.
Jeez, are
So
they
we watched
hour-long
all 9
episodes?
episodes. They're 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Excellent series.
It does say that Eric Menendez says that it's full of blatant lies about him and his brother, which I feel is pretty common when someone that commits a crime, has a show made about him. They're probably going to have some gripes about it because it probably doesn't paint them in the best light.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, for the most of the series, or for the episodes, like for most of the series, I guess, it paints them, I think, in a pretty positive light, in my opinion.
Okay. They're the pair that killed their parents, right?
Yeah, just shot them in the head with a shotgun. Yeah, and
That's terrible.
Yeah. So, but anyway, back to I was talking about Tony, our mutual friend who was on the podcast.
Tony. Yes,
because football's starting up, and he's doing the pre and post game show on the local radio station.
Nice.
Here in Joliet, Illinois, and on Friday Night Lights. So he's
exciting.
Making money moves over here, and really, doing a good job. And the reason I brought that up, though, was because I've been told by a few people, mostly Nicole, but a few people, that I can be a little critical of people and feedback, So, but
I could see that.
Well, that's just the nature of the beast, I guess, right? That's
is it?
The nature of this industry is I don't have time to sugarcoat it. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to tell you about it like it was yesterday. But so my biggest gripe with Mr. Tony, which and to be fair, he's not here to defend himself, but I didn't like the way he said.
Is there a way to do that on this software?
There
definitely isn't.
I would like. Well, we can send him a link and see if he can join right now during the episode.
No, that's okay.
But I didn't like the way he was saying the letter W. Now, wait a second. You're laughing, but this is a serious issue, okay?
Can I? Okay.
This is
I'm going to need some context on this about why he was just saying the letter W.
Well, first of all, the call letters of the radio station, WJOL, okay? So that's when he was saying, I didn't like the way he was saying the letter W, okay?
So if we were to say that, WJOL, okay, got it. Okay, so how was he saying it?
He was saying W.
Okay.
And I suggested, in a not-so polite way, W. W.
What was he saying?
W. W. W.
W.
W.
W.
W. Not W. So, but when he was saying W, when it was coming across like
W,
the airwaves, it sounded very like slurred together.
W.
W.
W. W is just a tough. W is just a tough letter to say in general.
Right, but if you listen to like people on WGN or
WGN?
people who say or just pretty much everyone on WGN, they all say WGN.
Yeah.
WWE, right? Even Michael Cole, when he says W, the way he says it, he's saying W, not W.
Sure. Why is it not called double V? Because you don't write it like a W. You write it like a double V.
It depends on the font. If you use the Wingdings font like I do, then you might just have circle, smiley face. Yeah. So, you know what? That's just kind of how, it works. But, hey, so I kind of had a come to terms moment with Tony when I suggested that he say W instead of W.
Yeah.
So you tell me because if you listen to people who know what they're doing, they say W.
W.
Like, and he's like, no one says it like that. I was like, I challenge you to listen to anyone on WGN or any radio station, because what is it, the Midwest? They all have W's.
Right? Yeah, everything east of the Mississippi.
Everything east of the Mississippi has a W as the first letter.
Besides KDKA.
Besides that station. So, I mean, but this is the nature of our business, is how you say certain words, certain letters.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah,
because a call sign is a lot more than just that. It's a brand for these radio stations,
Right. And so I work, WGN, WJOL, that's just a personal.
Is that a radio station?
WXRT. I bet it is.
WXYZ. Oh my gosh, it is.
XRT.
It's in Detroit. No, XYZ.
Oh, well, XRT is a station in Chicago.
Yeah, but they have the last 4 digits of the alphabet. That's sick. That's fantastic.
That better be part of their branding plan, too. I know it's not, but I bet it should be.
No, you know what? They're just ABC7.
Boo.
For TV. Well, oh, wait, hold up. Okay, let's look at the radio station. The Bet, 1270 AM.
How's it go?
Oh, that's WXYT.
WXYT.
I thought I just clicked on this from WXYZ. Oh, yeah.
That's actually a cool
WXYT
cool
held
sign.
the call sign until the 80s. Oh, it was quite from the U.S. Army station. Oh, whoa. This is really interesting.
This is a new section called "This is History Lesson with Reid" today.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they're just ABC7. WXYZ is a great call sign, though.
You're listening to WXYZ.
That's cool.
FM
all right.
in
Sorry.
Detroit,
Anyway.
Detroit, Illinois. Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Illinois. Jeez, is that a thing? You just make that up?
But anyway,
well, you talked about Tony doing some high school broadcast or some high school football broadcasting. I've also been helping out with some high school football broadcasts. Someone from one of the local news stations out here reached out to my boss before the season started, and they were looking for camera operators to help with these broadcasts. So my boss and I have been doing a handful of games for them, which has been a lot of fun. I haven't ran camera in really 3 years before that, almost 3 years back in college. So that was fun to get back out there and do that some more.
Yeah, and
those are always fun though, because like no matter what scale of a broadcast you work on, like they all start to feel the same. Like I have obviously done the college stuff. I've done this now. I did a Penn State game with CBS last year. You know, no matter the scale of the network that is going on, you still have like the standard characters of the broadcast. You know, like there's always that one engineer that'll just chew your ear off. There's the other engineer that doesn't say anything to you all day but just makes stuff work. And then there is the crew that is confused because they don't know what they're doing at any certain time.
Yeah, you know? That sounds about right. Yeah,
and any you know TV crew that you work on will have those cast of characters plus a couple others thrown in there, and somehow it all works. You know, to the viewer, it always looks so polished and everything, but then to the crew, you know, you're staring at each other at the end of the day, you know, and saying, you know, geez, how did that work? You know.
Yeah, the secrets of television is
the
especially
secrets of television, right?
You watch news, you know, and people are like, "Oh, the news is so organized." No, there's a lot of yelling that happens. Yep. Control room, things are flying. You know, Pepsi bottles are hitting you in the side of the head.
Yep.
Or maybe that's just my experience, but you know,
what good broadcasts do is they run into issues, but they make sure no one knows.
Yeah,
that's the mark of a good broadcast in my eyes.
What I was going to say though is I saw recently that high school football. Mm-hmm. Like legit high school football was on like broadcast TV. I don't know if it was ESPN2 or what it was. Where was we at?
Oh,
where were we at? Just
ESPN
recently.
Does some high school. ESPN does some Friday Night Lights.
But it was the production. I was like shocked that it was like one camera that was like zooming in and out. Like it was real rough. And you know, I was very like, this was really the best that we got kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, normally they just do like a weekend or like a week in August. Yeah, like this past year they did 6 games from the 16th to the 26th back in August. I remember watching some of these at bars and stuff around here. A lot of teams from like down south in Georgia and Florida, and then they eventually, you know, get some California teams and things like that, but...
Maybe it wasn't even, I don't even know. Maybe it was Chicago Sports or like NBC
the ESPN
Sports Chicago.
games that they do, like ESPN brings in their gear for these games, like they are very well produced. So I'm guessing it was somewhere else because they always do a good job with these, ESPN does, for those that want to watch the high schoolers play football.
This was not that by any sense of the word. Even I guess the state championships, I've watched those before, and those are pretty high production value, you know, in Illinois.
Where do they play those? Do they take them to Soldier Field?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Okay, let me guess the second destination. Okay, the second location I'm guessing is whatever the football field down at U of I is.
No.
No, okay.
I'm pretty sure last year they played at Northern Illinois University. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. which now is the powerhouse NIU, beating Notre Dame.
They were, and then they lost to Buffalo last week, and now I believe they're unranked again.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, but
that was an insane win over Notre Dame. But I believe that NIU has fallen out of the top 25, and they sure have, and they probably won't touch it again.
I don't know. The football rankings I really don't understand, but we'll leave that to Tony to talk about. We should get him on here to come and talk about
the 2024 IHSA football championship will be at Hancock Stadium at Illinois State.
Oh. So I think they changed it up though, because they was definitely not there last year.
Okay,
yeah.
that would make sense. That would make sense. Let me see if I can find where.
Which I'm surprised they don't play at like you said, at like it'd be cool to do it at Soldier Field, but it probably also is out of their price range.
Yeah, you're also in in the bear season, which can be tricky. This is saying that last year was also at Hancock Stadium.
They play the hockey state championship at the UC, and that's in the middle of the Hawk season.
That's true, yeah.
It's not like it. But they started using. They have like live grass at Soldier Field, I think, and
yes, I believe they would, yeah.
So maybe they want to save the grass or whatever. And I mean, I guess ice you just resurface and.
Well, I wonder if I feel like so NIU is a little bit for the north part of the state, but Normal, where Illinois State is pretty much smack in the middle of the state as well, with a slight bias north, but pretty darn to the center. So that's probably why as well.
Yeah, but no one south of that,
But look at this though.
Very rarely
what
south.
We're finding. It has turf.
ISU does?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I highly doubt any of the schools that are playing in that come from south of there.
Well, if they host your smaller divisions, then they would.
But even the smaller divisions, though, like JCA is a football powerhouse, in this area.
What division are they?
I think they're 2A.
Okay, yeah. Well, the A's go down all the way to 8.
In Illinois?
Yeah.
No, in Illinois they only go to 6A.
I'm looking at this online and it's saying 8.
Well, you're seeing wrong because I'm pretty sure they only go to 6A. Because the biggest schools in the state are
one?
Are 6. It's reversed, like Lockport.
Oh, that's annoying. That's how Pennsylvania is too, and I can't stand it.
It's reversed. So
Division
the bigger the school, the higher the number.
I'm seeing class.
But it's not
5,
even. It's
6,
not even
7,
based on
8.
skill, though. It's not based on skill. It's based on size of
student
school.
Body, right? Yeah. Yeah. Conference schedule.
Yeah, we really. If we're going to talk high school football, we need to get Tony on the horn here.
We need to get a real person here. I don't know. This is the IHSA's website, and it's saying something about 1, 2, 3, 4A is Friday, November 29th, and the next day is 5, 6, 7, 8A. So there must be 8A schools.
Yeah. I mean, I was under the impression, or I had been told that it only went up to 6A. So.
Well, we need to talk to Tony about this. This could be interesting.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and get him on next week and he can sort this out. Sort this all out for us.
These people are. Yeah, that could be good. Have him back.
Yeah, dude. And he could tell us. He can promote his show.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go. I'm finding something. So
here we go. It
depends on the sport how many A's you have. Okay. Football has 8. Most other have 4, 3, a couple with 2, and such. It looks like. And the classification ranges for football are determined at the end of the regular season for what classification your school is in based on enrollment, I believe.
Right.
So, but 8 is the highest, you say?
That's what you are saying. Here. I didn't say that.
I'm looking at the 2023 Illinois High School Football Playoff Brackets, Class 8A. Here's here we go. Here's a school like Naperville Central. That checks out. Lockport, that checks out. Oswego.
In
Maple
8A?
Valley. Yeah. Joliet West.
Okay, maybe I was under the impression they were 6A.
Naperville North. Is that Joliet West?
Naperville North. No, Naperville North.
Plainfield
is not
North.
Yeah. I don't know.
We need Tony on.
We need Tony on the phone to explain this to us.
As our high school football analyst. Because we sure as hell can't figure it out ourselves.
Yeah. So we'll get him on the horn for next week. And
there we go. That could be fun.
That could be just the whole topic, and then he can promote his show on WJOL, and then we can work from there. So we'll get Tony on the phone next time. But for right now, it's time to move on to everybody's favorite segment, news.
News.
I think we need like a little like a song,
like a music tag,
like a theme song.
Should I go first?
So, sure, because
I think you have a better story than mine. Mine is titled "Archaeologist Message in a Bottle Found at Dig Site 200 Years Later."
Whoa.
So this takes us to France. So there were students working at an archaeological site, and they made a surprising discovery: a message in a bottle from an archaeologist who worked at the same site 200 years earlier. I am not going to try to pronounce this person's name because it is French and I will butcher it. But they were the head of the town's regional archaeology society said that student volunteers were working on an emergency dig at the remains of a village endangered by cliff erosion when they found a small glass bottle buried inside an earthenware pot. Earthenware pot? What does that mean? Pottery that has not been fired to the point of vitrification is just slightly porous and coarser. Okay, so it was in a pot. So these students, they brought the bottle to this person whose name I will not try to pronounce. You open it and read the message inside, and they said, P.J. Ferret, as I can assume because he's French, a native of Deep. That's not spelled right, or is it pronounced right? Dieppe? I don't know. Member of various intellectual societies, carried out excavations here in January 1825. He continues his investigations in this vast area known as Cité des Limes, or Caesar's Camp. And they said that it was an absolutely magical moment. And they know they've been excavations here in the past, but to find the message was a total surprise. And they found that local records revealed that this guy was a well-known archaeologist at the time and conducted his first dig at the village site 200 years ago. And they said sometimes you see these time capsules left behind by carpenters when they build houses, but it's very rare in archaeology. Because many archaeologists prefer to think that there won't be anyone coming after them because they've done all the work. So that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's
to see something that
it's
old.
It's like someone who builds a house and like on the inside of the wall,
you put a time capsule,
yeah, puts like a little message to future contractors or whatever.
Yeah,
but that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I do want to tell you that we did just get confirmation from Tony that there are 8 classes in Illinois,
look at that.
and he did agree to be the guest next week. So,
nice.
You'll have to tune in next week to the next episode of Basement Birds next Friday.
I like how Tony's asking to verify that it's still you and I doing the show, and that doesn't change.
Well, I think because I also do the hockey podcast for.
That's right.
And so maybe he thinks that we're talking about high school football on the college hockey podcast that I host. So
I appreciate you telling me my plans for next week.
Yeah, well, I didn't give him an option to be on the show.
You didn't have a hot date planned.
Anyway,
because it's now us. And then he goes, didn't even realize you were in this chat, Reid. Okay, thanks.
No. So,
gosh.
My odd news segment is a little different. Normally, we all get our odd news segments from UPI, right? Is the website, I believe.
Shout out UPI for having a great variety of odd news.
Some top tier odd news segments.
Absolutely, like some of the best.
This one comes to you from the great radio station and news station, WGN in Chicago.
W.
You know what WGN stands for?
World's Greatest Newspaper.
World's greatest newspaper. I've definitely told you that before.
But yes, I did know that, but we have definitely talked about it before as well.
This
but I digress.
This was not just WGN reported this, but there's plenty of reports on this specific instance. So last week there was Riot Fest in the city of Chicago, which is punk rock kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah, duh.
What's it called? Music festival, right?
Yes.
So that was a 3-day fest last week, I believe. So not only will this year's fest be filled with your favorite musical acts, it will feature something we promise you won't find anywhere else. And that piqued my interest.
What could this be?
And so I clicked on the article.
Can we get a quick cameo of Nicole? She just walked in the background. Now she needs to come on the show.
Nicole. No, she's got her headphones on.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
You made an experience. You made a cameo over here.
She made a surprise cameo, and she didn't even know it.
No, she's too busy dancing over there. But no, so a life-size butter statue of John Stamos. Yeah, you heard that correctly. John Stamos.
I love it.
America's Uncle Jesse.
That is great.
Ingrained in history in the world's largest statue of butter that was built and kept housed at Riot Fest in Chicago.
That's incredible.
This year's butter statue comes after a year-long love affair between Riot Fest and John Stamos, a love affair that may be very one-sided. Okay, a little concerning. According to the festival, it all started with a tweet to Stamos in 2013 asking him to reunite Jesse and the Rippers band at Riot Fest. Unfortunately, they had no luck. Jesse and the Rippers, for those of you that don't know, is the band from the show Full House, which was the majority of my childhood.
Okay, that's fun.
In 2016, apparently there was another attempt to get Stamos' attention when they had an artist create a sculpture of his head out of butter. But again, there was I don't know what their affinity for creating statues out of butter is, but
I think the Iowa State Fair does this too.
And that was back in, I think so too. Back in 2016.
Clark.
Oh, really?
Oh, they have a butter cow too.
They do. I didn't know about the butter cow. So apparently he did repost their post. So Riot Fest. I'm certainly flattered and pretty frightened by #ButterStamos. First of all, great hashtag. But #ButterStamos. Does it come with toast?
That's good.
That was his only question. Does it come with toast?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment or a fair question.
Yeah. So it really sounds like Riot Fest is trying to get Jesse and the Rippers to come and play at Riot Fest. So
yeah, it would appear
maybe,
so. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little interesting, but hey, whatever works, right? And hopefully, one day soon, Jesse and the Rippers will reunite.
Yeah.
On the stage at Riot Fest in Chicago. And believe me when I tell you, I will be there. Be there, be square. All right, ladies and germs. Oh, yeah. But, no, I don't know. I feel like, there was another music act recently that was Ringo Starr was in a local, from the Beatles, as in the Beatles.
Yes.
Ringo Starr was at a show near, not in Chicago, in a suburb, at a small theater.
Oh,
he did a show there, which he was Ringo and his new band, I guess, and they just played some songs and whatnot, and
interesting, very
interesting. Yeah, it was like a local show or whatever, Park District show. But anyway, odd news, odd stuff going on all weekend long, all week long, all the time, because we live in an odd time. And so, you know what? We just like to point out some of the eccentricities of today's day and age.
Yeah,
so, you know what? Thank you for being with us. Nicole's just made another appearance back there.
Yeah.
You can keep up with all this madness on all sorts of social media platforms that Reid will tell you about right now.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. Basement Birds. Bam.
Bam Bam Ba-Ba-Lam at Basement
Bam, bam.
Birds.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bam, bam, bam. All right. Well, we'll look forward to Tony next week. We already confirmed that he's a guest. We told him rather than asking him. So
correct.
Look forward to that. That'll be another great conversation with our buddy WGN producer aficionado. WGN anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not sitting under an AC vent this time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or he's just blowing into his microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
all right. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
See ya.